All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to see for its local search, Haymarket, Virginia looks like, and for its city search, and see if it has BSS for either of them. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our, here in white, we got our intent spectrum here. High intent on the left, low intent on the right. And if a boudoir photographer is rising, they're usually bringing in all peeps from, this entire intent spectrum, kind of all these cohorts. But if a boudoir photography business is falling, then they're missing some, one or many cohorts here on this entire spectrum. So over on the left, which we talk about here, BSS focuses on the highest intent people, Google search, social search, those searching for boudoir photo shoots like ASAP right now in their city right now. Over on the right, that's where we focus on like the lowest intent people in our city. And that's why their sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And right now, we only focus on working with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads over there. So that's what we got. Now, boudoir search sameness, BSS, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots means they're on page 2 or deeper. We're effectively invisible because we know that approximately 80% of all Google searches never even hit page 2. They're page 1 only searches. And we care about these 80% because these peeps are, that's the bulk of the market, they approximately 80%. So most of the market, that's the bulk. And if we're invisible to them, that's killing our business. Also, 1 slot on page 1, also not good enough. It's not good enough because, there's 10 organic slots on page 1 of Google. And if we're missing 9, or if there's 9 of the boudoir photographers on page 1, then, then basically we're looking the same as everyone else. We're not standing out. And a buyer's just going to, click on everyone's link going down, contact everyone, price shop everyone, and literally, we're going to be price shopped to death, compared to death. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, extremely common, but not normal. That means like we got big. It's not normal to have so few page 1 links on Google as a boudoir photographer. Either 0 or 1. Yeah, we got some big issues then if that's happening. And so market saturation, basically everyone knows about this one. This is when it seems like every week a new boudoir. It seems like someone's getting a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, send that the National Boudoir, or and they got their website saying they're a boudoir photographer, and so they are, increasing the competition for the keywords on page 1, and increasing that competition, maybe kicking us off. And also if someone gets, like a new camera now, they're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying that they offer boudoir photo shoots. And so that's market saturation. Also big market saturation happened when COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but people still earn money somehow. And look, everyone's got a phone with a great camera, so kind of natural that a ton more people become, new boudoir photographers or offer boudoir photo shoot services. Now, the thing that most people don't know about is the false belief of page 1 equality, but more and more people are coming to know about it every day. So this is where, it's kind of auto-accepted by boudoir photographers, like, hey, every boudoir photographer basically gets 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And yeah, maybe my website was ranked on page 1, and and maybe market got a little saturated, we got pushed to page 2, and well, that's simply how it is. We are that's normal. And yeah, hopefully they delete their website so Google can re-rank us up on top or get us back on page 1. But that's not normal. Google will actually give us as many links on page 1 as we want to take, as we want to put in the effort to take. So it's basically like we're falsely believing, basically everyone gets 0 or 1 slots on page 1. No, that's incorrect. I know it's incorrect. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google in 10 days. Because I want to put in the effort to take as many slots as I want, and Google does give that. Google does give those links to people. Next, we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. So we're building up our universe here on the left. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. Thankfully, we now finally have a solution to boudoir search sameness, and that is social search saturation, our S-cubed methodology, which we invented. The way it works is it's exactly what it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent keywords, most relevant to it, boudoir photography buyers are searching. And when you saturate these on the social media networks, that's kind of like, our small streams or small rivers coming down the backside of the Andes Mountains in South America. And when we do that enough, eventually they all flow together to the Amazon River. That's page one on Google. So kind of all these dominating these high intent keywords on the social networks will eventually flow to us dominating, as many links as we want to acquire on page one on Google for those searches. And also, a special thing about SQ methodology is it's the only strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually fight back against market saturation, overcome it, and still grow a business in a relatively fast time frame. The only other solution that had previously existed is building a brand, a well-known brand. Dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years. We literally ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is coming to eat people's, careers, livelihoods, and we gotta get moving. So how's SQ methodology overcome market saturation? So let's say we got 1 million boudoir photographers in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir, and we actually. So we're one of the 1 million. We're like, all right, market is extra saturated here. We need to crank up SQ methodology to the max to actually give ourselves a shot here to keep growing, not simply maintain, but actually continue to grow. So we crank up SQ methodology to the max, and let's say prove the rank like the first 300 slots across all social networks for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in Raleigh. And as a result, that flows onto Google. And let's say we take the first 300 slots as well. So to be like really ultra maxing it out, which is a very tiny possibility of actually ever happening. And so let's say, and as a result, anytime someone who wants boudoir searches on social or on Google, we're literally the only person they see for the first 300 slots. And Google is 10 slots per page, 10 slots organic search results per page. So literally the first 30 pages on Google is basically only us. And our competitors start showing up, page 31. But do we already know approximately 80% of people ain't never even going to page 2. So ain't no one going to page 31 to find our competitors. So as a result, we're basically the only one our boudoir photographer or people who want boudoir can find. And we are, we're getting all the intake. Our business is the one that's still growing because we've taken over all the highest intent search slots. And so a lot of peeps, didn't even know this possibility existed because they had they kind of auto-accepted, implicitly accepted the false belief of page one equality. So that scenario in Raleigh, we're actually still growing the business, and everyone else, every other boudoir photographer is disappearing out of those million, but we are still growing the business and still successfully growing in the midst of massive market saturation. And this happens a lot quicker than brand. But kind of a bonus, long-term benefit is SQ methodology actually is the fastest way to reach a well-known brand. So imagine if you're a well-known brand and you still continue to use SQ methodology, you'll basically be unstoppable. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And initial benefit of this is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. And so, initial benefit of SQ methodology, yeah, we get more links, but on page one, on Google search. But as a result, every link we take, we're kicking basically a competing boudoir photographer off there, putting them back on page number 2. And we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. They're page 1 only searches. So we're making them visible to the bulk of the market, approximately 80% of the market that never even reaches page 2. So it's an awesome initial benefit. Second benefit of utilizing SQ methodology. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. Now we do have a recommended minimum, a GBC recommended minimum of hitting 3 out of 10 page 1 links on Google. That's because, if Google recommends 3 out of 10 times for the highest intent keywords, buyers are subconsciously going to be like, oh, why are they recommending this person so much? Come by the third time I see us. And they may even only click on our links, not even any of our competitors, even though we only have 3 out of 10 because we look so much better, so much larger, so much more recommended than basically than everyone else. Also, there's a very, very tiny, rare chance that another boudoir photographer will have 2 slots page 1 on Google. So we dominate them as well when we got, basically when we got 3. So we dominate all the people that got 0 slots on page 1, or 1 slot on page 1, or 2 slots on page 1. We dominate everyone. And a boudoir photographer with BSC is a visible boudoir photographer of VBP. So this is our entire universe, micro universe here. We got a declining boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, or a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. Thankfully, we now have the solution, thank the universe. SQ methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and we achieve boudoir search visibility. So now my results, me using SQ2 methodology. So I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir, and I exclusively used SQ2 methodology to do this. So I started out with 0 out of 10 links on Google page 1. And let's look at how many organic slots I got on Google page 1. I was able to get using SQ methodology. So we got organic slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, slot 8, and slot 10. So I literally got 9 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 search with only 10 days of utilizing SQ methodology. So these are the results that I've got for myself. All right, now on to our main event. We got, we're gonna see if this boudoir photography business, we're gonna see if for its local and for its city searches, see if it has, basically see if it has, copy that. Basically, we're gonna see if it has BSS for these searches. All right, so here we go. We got our local search here, Haymarket, Virginia. So going down to the organics. All right, boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. Let's see. Those don't count. And boom, we got 4. Boom, we got 5. Boom, we got 6. All right, so dude, awesome. This is really good. So we do not have BSS with this local search, and also we have achieved the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 Google page 1 slots. So really good for local. Then we're gonna look at the DMV, the city search. So let's see what we got here. Now DMV is kind of like a region, so actually gonna be more competitive than the standard city search. All right, we got 0 out of 10, but it's, yeah, it's even harder to rank for than the standard city search. So 0 out of 10. So yeah, we do got BSS for the the city or region search here, DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for that one, but that's a way harder one to rank for. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, so you've done the you've done your local search, you've done your city search for the highest intent keywords that a boudoir buyer would be searching, and you either have BSS for one of them, or for one of them or both, you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google, and you understand the false belief of page 1 equality, and you're like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense. We can actually take as many slots as we want because Google will give them to us if we put in the work. And so you're seeing that SQ methodology is literally exactly what you've been waiting for. And you're like, yes, this is the perfect solution for me. So I got to use this thing. And you understand the market saturation. The 2 prongs, people get new iPhones, people get new cameras, kind of the gear saturating the market. But when you actually look at the outcomes of SQ methodology, you're saying, okay, first page, yeah, more kind of the initial benefits, more page 1 slots, and secondarily, kicking more competitors out of page 1 slots and off to page 2, effectively making them invisible. So you're liking those initial benefits, and you're looking ahead from kind of at this market saturation thing, and you're seeing AI is taking more and more people's jobs. You're like, uh-oh, there's kind of going to be a much higher increasing number of boudoir photographers entering the marketplace, and over and over time, as AI takes more people's jobs, that's on top and above kind of the standard new gear people entering the marketplace. So you're seeing, man, you decide you're going to fortify your spot on page 1. Literally have so many slots on page 1 that you actually have like backup links in waiting that Google wants to rank on page 1 but can't because we've taken so many slots that literally kind of the new peeps that come into the market will never even be able to rank on page 1 on Google. So it's kind of like you're saying that you also want to use that SQ methodology, which it's perfect for, to kind of fortify those levees. Like down in Nolens, Louisiana, they got the levees to keep the ocean out. You want to set up your boudoir page 1 domination levees. So you're seeing SQ methodology is perfect for that, and you want to achieve page 1 visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also liking the future kind of future benefits of successfully executing SQ methodology every single day, which is every single day we execute it correctly, we are actually we're creating these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand, or like attached to our brand, kind of like columns like the Parthenon in Greece, or spokes going to the middle of the hub of the bike tire. And these things are basically AI mindshare. So every day we're building that up, building it up, an increase in the probability. We're showing up here the AI overview, the most premium placement right now. Showing only one slot, the primary slot. I mean, this is going to help get buyers, obviously. And the secondarily, kind of the other longer term benefit is every day we do this correctly, we are increasing the probability that standard AI search and all these different AI search apps recommend us as well. ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. And, Google's still approximately 80% of all search, but I haven't done standard Google search probably like a year. I've always been using the AI overview button. It's basically like summarize it for me. I don't want to read nothing. And so you're seeing that. You're seeing people use AI. It's literally more and more and more every single day. And so you need to be increasing the probability you're showing up on AI search. And dude, last time I searched for boudoir photographer with AI search, I literally brought up 3 of them. But then I actually went like through Google and all these different searches to find how manually how many are out there in the city. And there's approximately like 60. So dude, we gotta get on these top 3 slots. And again, what's the best solution out there that helps with that? S-cubed methodology. It helps give all these benefits. And you're also seeing that you've decided that you're going to be the first mover in your city on using S-cubed methodology, because my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city and lock everyone else out. So you're saying you can get all these initial benefits, get all these future benefits, and lock out all your competitors from using this strategy, and build up kind of those invisible thematic keyword column momentum, like back-end AI mindshare, while your competitors have no idea what's going on. And we're able to put so much distance between you and your current competitors, and definitely any future competitors, that makes it a no-brainer. And conversely, if one of your competitors was to come with me first, and I would lock you out, then you're also seeing you would actually have to rederive S-cubed methodology all on your own. You have no idea if you had derived it or rederived it correctly or not. And then you'd have to successfully equal our execution every single day. But if you did that, you would simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor would have already gotten ahead of you with. And so to kind of close the gap, you'd actually have to out-execute us by like 2 or 3x every single day and begin pulling those, invisible thematic keyword columns, momentum, mindshare, AI mindshare we had already been achieving away from us and towards yourself. And you still would not even have 100% confidence you've derived S-cubed methodology correctly in the first place. And so doing all that, like, dude, who's got 60 to 80 hours in a day to do all that stuff? So you decide to screw that. You're going to be the first mover in this. You don't want to deal with a competitor getting it. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. And shoot me a DM when the hospital is open for new patient intake. Hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. So you cannot DM me even if you wanted to. And no, you cannot work with me right now, even if you wanted to. But when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify for using our S-cubed methodology.